Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio, your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Get ready for Talking Heads, the show where expert insights meet world-class education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. Brought to you by USA Global TV and Radio. Meet our distinguished presenters. From the great state of Texas, longevity expert, award-winning author, publisher, and distinguished Toastmaster, Red O'Loughlin. From London, England, soul heart awakener, novelist, vocal coach, and artist, Dr. Madeline Chan. Also from England, the Harley Street stress expert, therapist, ambassador for peace, and speaker, Carolyn Heward. And from Australia, ICF PCC Credentialed Coach, entrepreneur, and leadership coach, MARISKA Dupriya. Experience their expertise, connect with their wisdom, and transform your perspective. Watch Talking Heads on the USA Global TV and Radio Network. This video and its contents are the property of USA Global TV and Radio. All rights reserved. Terms and conditions apply. Visit usaglobaltv.com for more details.
Hello, USA Global TV and Radio, to all our watchers and listeners. For those that's new to the show, I'm MARISKA Dupriya, and for our returning people on the show, welcome back. Also, welcome to all our wonderful viewers on E360 TV. It's wonderful to have you all here today. And you might be wondering what it is that we will be talking on Talking Heads and discussing for today. So our topic for today is why investing in coaching as a team or as a leader. So why do you want to invest? Is really the thing. And we are looking at what it is that we are seeing within the marketplace, and then we also go into some of the benefits that we will experience when we go through a coaching program of whatever sort it might be for you. So that is our topic for today, and I cannot wait to jump into this because I have had quite a few different conversations with people in the last little while around it, and it was very interesting to find out what people think and how they think about it. So first off, let's just look at our work in general and why investing in this thing might actually be helpful for us. So when we look at the workforce in general, we find that employees, so people on our team, really look for authentic leadership. They look for transparency, and they look around how we take care of not only the organization, but also the people within the organization and the rest of the ecosystem. So how does all of these different things work together, and how do we help to make them work together? Now, one of the things that we have been picking up, and especially in some of the conversations that I've been having, we have noticed that there's lip service to leadership and to the things that we think is important. So we will say, yes, we need to be transparent, and then we find that the leaders don't do it. And we might not be doing it. We might be saying, yes, show up authentically, and people don't. They they don't feel safe enough to do that. They have all sorts of other things that might be going on that's preventing them to actually show up authentically, whether that is team members or whether that's the leader themselves. So what we do within the coaching space is really to help the leader skill up and be more effective. Now, it's one thing to know all of these things. I can read 1,000 books, but if I do not implement anything in the 1,000 books that I read, what value were they really? And that's really the part that coaching brings in. So yes, we have wonderful training. You can literally go on YouTube and find information on anything these days. And it is really, really good to find all of these things. The thing is, do we really know how that looks like within our own space and how that translates? And that typically is where we need more help. We need a little bit more guidance around how that might transpire within our own space. So when we think about coaching within the leadership space, whether it's for the leader themselves or whether it is for the team, benefits that we find, firstly, we just look at the individual, right? So we as a human being, we will have some development that takes place. We will grow personally and professionally. So that's really the number one benefit. Very first off, our own growth as a person. The second benefit to it is the enhanced awareness. Now, I want you to think about a time when you went and you gave a presentation. Maybe one of your very first presentations, if that is something that you do on a regular basis, or it might be one that wasn't that long ago for you. And think about that presentation and how you showed up in it. What happened for you? How did the nerves feel? Were you very nervous? Were you jittery? Did you stumble over your words? Did you use a lot of filler words within that space? The likelihood of you answering yes to a couple of those, really good, because typically public speaking, I don't know about you guys, but most people weren't born with the skill. It is something that we develop over time. And the only way that we get better at it is actually practicing it. If I read a book about presentation skills, yes, I have all the knowledge. Can I implement it? Maybe not quite yet. I need to practice it a couple of times. And then I need to take it out into the real world and stand in front of a whole bunch of people and try it out. And then a whole bunch of stuff might happen to me. I might get really nervous because all of a sudden I have all these people that look at me and I have all these voices in my head telling me all sorts of things. So that experience teaches me things. And only when I reflect on it can I actually get the value from the lessons. And that's part of what coaching helps us with, is enhancing our awareness around what is happening in the space, in ourselves, with the other people around us, with the connections between the people around us and ourselves. So all of these different levels or layers are exposed within coaching conversations, because that's a safe place in which we can explore them, right? And typically, yes, we do reflect a little bit on certain things over time. And for most of us, it's not a regular practice. So coaching helps us to make it a more regular practice as well. And then our third point on the benefit of actually bringing coaching into our leadership space and for our teams, and the reason why it would be really good to invest in it, is that we get a whole bunch of improvements. So we improve performance, we improve effectiveness, and we also improve our organizational culture. So how does all of that work, you might wonder? Because, yeah, I can also improve effectiveness and improve process or performance by changing the processes that we use or doing things like that. Yes, we can. And through the coaching process, what we do as leaders is, remember at the beginning, I mentioned something called lip service to all of these wonderful ideas that we have. It is really about implementing it for ourselves. So understanding how this thing called showing up authentically looks for us. What does that even mean? How will I do that on a day-to-day basis? When I'm faced with adverse situations, when I'm in a space where there's conflict for whatever reason, I might have an employee that needs feedback to improve and to get better. How do I have that conversation and still stay authentic to myself, as well as taking care of the rest of the team and this individual, as well as looking at the bigger organization at the same time? Yes, there's multiple layers that goes into this. So when we think about all of those things, it might feel a little bit overwhelming. And within the coaching space, we have the opportunity to break them down and see, okay, so when we do this thing in a certain way, what might be the results that we get? We get to practice a couple of different options within that space. We get to explore what we think about it and what we believe about it, and how it actually, that belief system that we hold, how it manifests itself in the world and within those relationships that we have. And because then, as a leader, we start to change and think different about things, we start to interact differently with our team. And in the case of team coaching, we have the team starting to interact differently with each other and with their stakeholders outside of themselves. So we start to improve the way that we do things. So typically the team might have been very despondent. They might be very slow and sluggish at doing things or responding to things. They might not see the point. But because we had a coaching session and we looked at a little bit of the purpose for the team and why they are all there and what the meaning might be for them, we find that the dynamics change and our performance actually increase. We also find that we can do things more effectively because we are starting to use the strengths of the different people in the right way, instead of giving somebody something that potentially might not be their strong suit. And we bring all the best out of people, which, if you think about our earlier comment around what it is that employees are looking for, that's the care piece of it. I mean, I don't know about you, but I want to get up in the morning and really want to go to work. I want to enjoy the prospect of going and filling my day with meaningful activities. Yes, might some of them be a little bit boring? Potentially. Will all of them rock my boat and get me all fired up? Maybe not. Will they all function as some form of meaning towards something that I'm working? Yes, they will, if I have made sense of them. And that making sense piece is typically the things that we work through when we are within a coaching conversation. So thinking about the performance and the effectiveness, you can see how working on ourselves and working on our relationships with others, it can definitely increase the way that we actually perform as a team, as well as how we function as a leader. Because yes, I know we might not always think about it, but a leader, you know what? You are always on a pedestal. And everybody is always looking at you for guidance, for understanding how to behave, for understanding what is safe and what is not. That is part of your role. Whether you think about it or not, you are being looked at. You are setting the tone. And that brings us to that organizational culture piece. Because if we are unaware of the type of tone that we are setting, then we are creating a culture that may or may not serve us. So understanding the tone that we set, regardless of the wider environment, helps us to also understand what we are creating for our team. Same goes for the team. When the team understand the tone that they are setting and what they are working towards, and being a value-creating team, and not only a high-performing team, we start to create something different. We start to make the world for ourselves as well as those around us different. And that is what it is about. And that is what coaching is about. Because you have the knowledge. You already read the book. How much of the book have you been implementing? Think about training that you've gone on. You can literally pick any training that you've had. How much of that training did you actually implement into your day-to-day work or your day-to-day life? How much of it was interesting information? And how much of it actually went into your beingness? And from research, they found that about 30% is a really good number when we send people on training. So sending them on training, typical, normal, traditional training, we sit, we learn the way that you would be familiar with in school or university typically, with a person at the front speaking and we sitting and taking notes. That type of training, 30% of it, a maximum of, typically it's less, that gets implemented in some way, shape, or form. And normally, the hype of the training goes down with time. So the further away we are from the training that we had, the less effective. However, when you implement training and you combine it with coaching, the likelihood of you implementing more of that's increased. Because within the coaching space, we actually look at how does that look in my world? How would this play out? How does that make sense for me? How does that make sense for my team? How does this make sense for the larger organization? And now I'm not paying it only lip service. I can actually implement it because I know how it looks like. I have made sense of it for myself. And you might think, oh yeah, but I can do this on my own. Yes, some of it we can. And yet the research shows 30%. So technically speaking, we implement a very, very small portion of the entire thing. And then you might argue, but I only needed 30%. Well, that's good. Then you hit your goal. But when I'm investing in something that I'm paying quite a pretty penny to get people trained, if you think about the organizational stance, I want a bigger percentage yield than 30%. I want to get more out of it. The more I can get out of it, the happier I'll be, because the more productive, the more effective, and the better my organizational culture. So of course I want to get more out of it. I want my people to perform at their peak, because when they perform at their peak, we perform at our peak. And as an organization, guess what? You're just going to go up, because that's the intent. That's why we look after our people. Well, for most of us, that might be something that we consider for looking after our people. And we also want to make sure that we have an environment where people want to be. I mean, if you think about the cost to hire, if you have very high turnover in your environment or in your team, it is of paramount that you actually look at what the hell's going on there, because it is really expensive to get new people. It takes time to train them. It is a very big cost to just get them onboarded, versus having a person that's already there that we can use their skill set in a way where we actually have mutually beneficial outcomes in it. So thinking of a symbiotic type of environment instead of a parasitic one. So unfortunately, at the moment, there's a lot of companies, organizations, sometimes even countries, that have more of a parasitic type of relationship with the employees, instead of having a symbiotic relationship where we can collaborate, where we can grow and change and build even better things, because we are using every single resource to its fullest capacity. And the human being, if you think about yourself, we are typically more scared of what we can accomplish than what we can't. And that, for most of us, is what holds us back. Because yes, it sucks to fail. And it's a great way to learn. Because now I know what doesn't work. And I can change it. And I can make it better. But if I don't even try, if I didn't step into the ring, if I am not on the dance floor, if I am not implementing these things, what's going to change? And then I'll just lament about the fact that everything is horrible and the world's falling apart. And actually, I have a responsibility to myself, to those around me, to my family, to be the best me I can be, because literally I'm the only me that is on this planet of 9+ billion people. Yes, there is 9+ billion people, and you are the only you on this planet. So with that, think about your personal and professional growth, as well as that of your team, and how you and the rest of them can be the best yous they can be, so that we can improve that and bring everybody up, instead of bickering and fighting and doing all sorts of weird things where we are actually not helping anyone, not even really ourselves. And with that, we now have a clearer idea of why investing in coaching and where to invest in coaching would be helpful for us as leaders as well as for our teams. Because yes, training and information, great things to have. And when we really want to make sure that the tire hits the road, we want to have some coaching within that space so that we can actually implement more than 30%. So with that, I will leave you to go and gather more information. And of course, if you would like to inquire about coaching and how I can partner with you, or maybe I might not be the person to partner with you and somebody else might be able to partner with you, you can still contact me. You can do that via my website, which is Journey to Discover. Or alternatively, you can email me at mariska@journey2discover.com. And I am also on LinkedIn. As you can see, I am Mariska D. They dropped my surname for the Dupree part, but you can find me there as well. And we can start our conversation and see how coaching can help you and your team to be performance increased, effectiveness increased, culture increased, and of course, having those wonderful personal and professional growth areas and enhanced awarenesses all leveled up. And with that, I will leave you for today and I will see you again next month. Until then, bye-bye for now.
We face daily cyber risks, spending over 7 hours of screen time, including 4.5 hours on mobile phones. This convenience comes with significant dangers, with cybercrime costs predicted to exceed $10.5 trillion by 2025. In 2023 alone, seniors lost over $3.4 billion to cybercrime. Our goal is to make social engineering concepts of cybersecurity easier to understand. We work with business teams, senior living facilities, investment companies, and educational institutions, both individually and in groups. We offer real-life examples to help you recognize and prevent attacks, with sessions available both in person, in selected regions, and remotely. Schedule your training session, or to learn more, contact us today. Call us at 847-845-9360. Email us at info@cybersecurityeasy.com. Protect your team and family with cybersecurityeasy.com.
USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents our partner and sponsor, Mr. Philip Sykes and the British School of Excellence. Building confidence, changing lives. And now, proudly presenting the Polished Professional.
On a transformative journey with the British School of Excellence's comprehensive suite of masterclasses, crafted to elevate your professional and personal life. 8 outstanding modules will elevate you to the next level. Module 1, Exploring Life's Purpose, delves into the depths of self-discovery, guiding you to chart your unique path to fulfillment and success. Module 2, Mastering Professional Presence and Confidence. This masterclass is a deep dive into the art of self-assurance and commanding presence, which is essential for standing out in today's competitive landscape. Module 3, Learn the secrets of visual impact, how to curate a personal style that amplifies your professional brand. Module 4, Mastering Professional Etiquette and Communication Excellence, navigating the nuances of corporate interaction with grace and tact. Module 5, Elegance in Eloquence. We impart powerful techniques to captivate and persuade any audience with your oratory skills. Module 6, Unlock the potential of your emotional intelligence, EQ, and harness the ability to connect, empathize, and lead with emotional savvy. Module 7, Mastering DISC, building a gateway to understanding behavioral styles, fostering better personal and professional relationships. Module 8, Mastery in Dining Etiquette, building your confidence to perfect the subtleties of dining with finesse, enhancing your social savviness at any table. Step into the Polished Professional program where poise, elegance, and excellence aren't just taught, they're instilled for life. Join us to redefine your potential and polish your professional edge.
To learn more, go to thebritishschoolofexcellence.com. The British School of Excellence are investors in people. Let us invest in you.
Ever dreamed of hosting your own TV show, sharing your story with a global audience? Now's your chance to shine. At USA Global TV and Radio, we make it easy for you to create, host, and broadcast your very own TV show. Whether you're a storyteller, entrepreneur, or industry expert, we help you bring your vision to life. With our exclusive interview, live streaming, and podcasting training, you'll gain the skills and confidence to captivate your audience. Our global platform ensures your voice is heard worldwide. Join our community of creators who are already making an impact, one show at a time. Step into the spotlight. Host your own TV show on USA Global TV and Radio. Book your discovery call today at usaglobaltv.com. Copyright 2025 USA Global TV and Radio. All rights reserved. Terms and conditions apply. To learn more, visit usaglobaltv.com. Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honored to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/usaglobaltv. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dyes. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.